everyone. Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Classroom. My name is Megan, and today we are going to be making our very own solar oven. Now, when we're done with this, we should be able to heat up our own food using only the heat of the sun. Now, before we begin, we suggest that the best time to be doing this is between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. because that is when the sun is strongest. Now, if you received a kit from us, here's what you should have in it. You should have a pizza box, a roll of aluminum foil, a couple of plastic bags, like this, a thermometer, a ruler, a roll of tape, some newspapers, some black construction paper, some scissors, and we also included some supplies for s'mores, so you have something to heat up. Now, if you want to do something other than s'mores, you can also do foods that are already cooked, but that are easy to heat up, such as grilled cheese, or if you have some leftovers at home, you can even heat those up too. Okay, now we are going to get started. So for this first step, we are going to recommend that you have an adult by you because this might take some adult supervision. All right, so we are going to start off with cutting a flap in the top of our pizza box. So here's the bottom of our box. We're going to start off at the top, and we're going to make a flap on 3 sides of the box. Now, you're going to make sure that when you start cutting into your box, that you have plenty of space, probably at least 1 inch from the edge. And then you're going to cut all the way down, and then towards the bottom, make sure you have some space again, at least 1 inch. And then you're going to cut across, and then you're going to cut up again. So the flap goes across 3 sides, but you're going to leave the top of the box up here alone. Okay, so with your adult, let's get started. Okay, so once you have cut into your pizza box, you're going to open the flap up like this. And then we are going to take our aluminum foil, and we are going to tape our aluminum foil here so that the aluminum foil is facing the inside of the box. Now, this will actually be a reflector for our sunlight, so when our sunlight directly hits it, it will be reflected into the box, and this will help our food cook. Okay, so once you have this on, make sure it is wrapped around, that it covers the whole flap, and that it is wrapped around securely to the flap. All right, and then once you have that done, you're going to just tape the back. Make sure the aluminum foil is taped to the back of the flap. Right, after your aluminum foil is attached to this flap, you're going to go to our next step, which is we're going to grab our plastic bag, and we are going to cover this opening right here below our aluminum foil with plastic. Now, this is where our sunlight is going to be hitting into, and we're going to want to make sure that our plastic bag is secure around this opening so that it allows heat to stay trapped in the box. So the best way that we have found to do it is you're going to take your full plastic bag, and then you're going to cut along the top to get rid of this elastic seal area. And then once that's done, you'll have more plastic to cover the top. Okay, and you will also probably want to cut off on the sides of the bag, just so that we actually have a single sheet of plastic. You'll actually probably want to cut along on both sides too, just so you have as much as you can. Okay, so I have a pretty long plastic sheet, but I'll just want to make sure it covers the whole opening of this pizza box. Once you have a plastic sheet that covers this opening, you're going to want to make sure that it is tight across the opening so that no air is allowed to go through. This will actually allow our oven to be hotter. Now before you move on to your next step, you're going to make sure that your plastic wrap is secure around the opening of your pizza box. So just go around the edges and make sure there's no area where air can get through. Right here, I see that we do actually have a hole, so we're going to tape that down real quick. Okay, so again, we do not want any air to get through because it'll make our oven lose heat. Okay, once we have the plastic wrap secured around the opening, we are going to open our actual pizza box. And our next step is going to be lining the bottom with black construction paper. Now this black construction paper will actually absorb the heat from the sun, and this will help our food cook a little bit faster. So once you're done with that step, you should have black construction paper covering the entire bottom of your pizza box. Now the next step we're going to take is we are going to put rolls of newspaper into our box so that we can insulate our oven and so that it will reach the highest temperature it can reach. Okay, so we are actually going to grab our newspaper and make sure you have at least several sheets in each newspaper roll. So you're going to take your newspaper and you're just going to roll it up like this. Once you have rolled up your newspaper, we are going to tape down each side of the roll just so that we do not have any air entering our oven. All right, so once you have covered up the ends of your rolls, you are going to start placing newspaper on all sides of the box, just so that we can keep it as insulated and as warm as possible. So it's going to go on all four sides, just like that. And we're going to try our best to make sure that there is no gap in between the newspapers once they are all together. All right, so we are going to be placing our food into our oven. And now we included s'mores in your kit, but make sure that your s'mores are on either a paper plate or a dish, just so that the food doesn't stick to the bottom of the pizza box, and also so that it's just easier to take out of the oven when we're done. Before we close our box, we are going to want to make sure that our thermometer is tucked inside, just so that we can measure how warm our box really gets with the sun. Okay, now we're ready to close it up. Just make sure the plastic wrapping is covered over the food. There we go. So our ruler is being used to prop up this flap, and our sunlight will be allowed to hit the aluminum foil and then bounce into the plastic wrap, which will heat up our food and cook it. So now you're ready to take it outside. Once you get outside, make sure you look for an area that has direct sunlight and no shadow. Now you can periodically check your oven to make sure that it is getting the most direct sunlight that it can, and you can also move it back and forth depending on where the sunlight is hitting. Now it will take a little bit of time to cook your food, so just keep an eye on it, and once it seems ready, feel free to take it out. Now remember, your oven is going to be hot, so you'll probably want to grab a cloth or some oven mitts to remove your food from the oven. Once we were done, our thermometer reached above 100 degrees, and this is what our food looked like when it came out. The chocolate was melty and delicious. Okay, we hope you guys had a lot of fun today building your own solar oven. We will see you real soon at the library. Bye!